me know what you think about that in the comments. It's something that I'm not very happy about. Right, moving on to TV news, and it's being reported that the Batman Beyond series will be starring Michael Keaton, and it'll be coming to HBO Max. So this is coming from was it Bounding Into Comics? And it actually links to an article to a story that we broke. I think it was back in October that Michael Keaton was signed on for a Batman Beyond series for HBO Max. So we did report that a while back. But they're basically saying that it's going to be a joint venture between HBO Max and the CW, which is quite interesting. I was thinking that the CW might end up being put to one side, really, as far as DC Comics properties are concerned. We already heard that the Wonder Girl series has been cancelled even before it started shooting. It's looking like the upcoming seasons of their DC Comics CW shows will be the last ones. So that's what Batwoman season 3, the Flash season 8, I believe, is going to be the last one, it looks like. And what was the other one? DC Legends of Tomorrow might also kind of end. They've been cancelling all the other shows, so like the Black Canary show and the Arrow show, which was the main show. They've all been cancelled. There have been reports that maybe they might bring some of those characters into like HBO Max shows, so like stuff like Teen Titans and Doom Patrol and that sort of stuff, and then they might add to bolster this, because they would need to bolster it. They'd add this Batman Beyond series, and it looks like Michael Keaton's on board. We were told he is. It's kind of gone quiet, but we were told that he's signed on, and it looks like they're developing the project, and it sounds like it's coming to HBO Max, which is what we were told. And I mean, Bounding Into Comics are reporting that they're also working with the CW. I'm not so sure about that, but that is at the moment that's the news. I really want to see this Batman Beyond show, because I think it is such a good idea. It makes so much sense, and it would really work. It would also really work as a series, more so than a movie, I think, because there's a lot of story there. If you've watched the animated series, there's a lot of story there, but they can really go beyond that. And Batman Beyond, and it's something that I think there's such an appetite for it. People are desperate to see this. People really want to see more of Michael Keaton's Batman, because of course he is coming back in the Flash movie as Bruce Wayne, as Batman, and it will be his 1989 version from the Tim Burton films of that character. So this Batman Beyond series would basically be a continuation of that. And we get to see what he's doing in the Tim Burton verse. It might. I'm not saying that it's going to be like a kind of really kind of Tim Burton style type thing. They might kind of dial that back a bit and make it a bit more manageable, I suppose. Because if you rewatch those movies, I love them, but they have dated a bit, and that kind of Tim Burton aesthetic is something that I love. But it might not be very easy to do in a kind of on a TV budget, especially if you've got Michael Keaton in that show. That's going to take up a large chunk of your budget. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we get this. I've been told that we're going to get this, but these things are always developing. HBO Max really needs a lot of these kind of shows, because that's going to, especially now that it's been revealed that they are going to be releasing HBO Max internationally, which is great news. Still no news on when it's coming to the UK and France, actually. Those two territories are a bit tricky, given they've got very strong, like Warner Brothers has got very strong connections with Sky and Canal Plus in those countries. So that means that we might have to wait a while until we get to see HBO Max in the UK or France. But those are the types of shows that will get people to subscribe. A Batman Beyond show, I think, would really make it'd be huge. The numbers would be huge. But it would have to be in as many territories. HBO Max would have to be in as many territories as possible, and that might be one of the key factors in whether this gets off the ground or not. It looks like it. I mean, they're developing it. They've got Michael Keaton on board, which is all great. But these things can still fall through. A lot of it hinders on how well HBO Max does. At the moment, their numbers are actually pretty good, considering that they're only in their first year. They're not Disney Plus numbers, but again, Disney Plus is available worldwide, so it's actually very different. You can't really compare the two. But I think it's going to grow, and I think it's going to grow exponentially as soon as it comes to as many countries, as many territories as possible.